Donald Cox was from a rural town called Alton City in Missouri. At the age of 17, he moved to San Francisco. Needless to say, it was a rough time to be a Black American, and it shook him. Eventually, he joined Congress for racial equality and began participating in protests. In 1967, as a response to a police shooting, he joined the Black Panthers. Quickly, he became part of the Central Committee leadership for the Panthers. Eventually, he was given the title of Field Marshal because he was good with guns. He's the first trainer in gun safety for the Panthers because they weren't just teaching people how to shoot, but also how to store and carry weapons safely. Cox first ran into issues with the Panthers in 1970. He had become a great speaker and was invited to speak with multiple groups and at various events. This included white people. Now, while Bobby Seale and Huey P Newton had no issues with white people and had always stated the Panthers' issue was with fascism, not white people, other members of the party didn't feel that way, people such as Eldridge Cleaver, for example. He was invited to speak at an event hosted by composer Leonard Bernstein and his wife Felicia, who was an actress. A story about the event was written in New York Magazine. Cox appeared on the cover with the couple. The article called Wealthy White People Funding Black Causes Radical Chic, and the party was not happy about it. But he was doing this to raise money for the defense of 21 Black Panthers awaiting trial for allegedly planning a series of bombings in New York. The group included notable names such as Afeni Shakur and Jamal Joseph. They beat the charges, by the way. To stay active and get away from the judgment, he moved to New York to work with the Panthers over there. There, he was accused of conspiracy to commit murder of an informant in Baltimore, so he fled the country. He moved to Algiers, where Eldridge and Kathleen Cleaver had set up a hub for Panthers on the run. They were known as the International Panthers. He hated it. During that time, he came to the conclusion that Huey Newton and Eldridge Cleaver had become egomaniacs looking only to build their own names. He also felt David Hilliard had become a bureaucrat after Joseph Stalin's own heart, punishing people with his secret police called the Black Guard and the Buddha Samurai. He said Hilliard took everyone's power but his own and that of Newton's, only to be tossed aside and abandoned when Newton no longer needed him. He lived the rest of his life in France. His daughter published his autobiography, Just Another Nigger, My Life in the Black Panther Party.